Greetings from ABC Acres. I'm Grant Shadden, and I'm here next to the landscaping of our guest house to talk about rainwater harvesting and to show some of the techniques that we've used here in the main courtyard area of the farm in rainwater harvesting off of these different roof lines of our buildings, and why you may want to consider doing the same thing if you haven't already done so, especially in these days where rainfall has become more and more irregular. We can have these long extended drought periods followed by heavy intense rainfall, and managing water resource wisely is becoming more and more key to long-term sustainability. Now, as you can see here, we've got a metal roof, and we like that for several reasons. Beyond aesthetics here on the farm. One is we get this passive condensation drip in certain time periods where we'll get a nice just gentle drip off of this metal roofing, much more so than with, say, like a shingle, a traditional asphalt shingle, or we have some buildings where there's cedar shingles where you don't get that. So that's just something that beyond normal annual precipitation, it adds extra surplus onto our water budget in the landscape. So we like using metal roofing where we can, and then using those drip edges, putting gutters on to get that extra added benefit of that harvesting dew in those mornings. Another thing you might notice is this kind of zigzagging, meandering pathway of these river rock beds, and that is not just to look good. We're doing that based on this principle called from source to sink. Now, this is something you can do with any resource. We encourage you to do it with as many resources as you can on your property. And the idea is, instead of using something once and then throwing it away, or allowing water to run off and go into a storm drain somewhere, using it as much as you can. Having this increased edge through the landscape gives it as much time to infiltrate into the soil as possible, and it benefits our surrounding landscape, watering them without any needed irrigation. We still do have to irrigate because of our low rainfall here in western Montana, but we can irrigate less because of our rainwater harvesting earthworks. Now, you can see we eventually have it come out here, but then it has to work all the way along the driveway too until it goes away into the irrigation ditch, which you can't see. But you can do that again with other resources. Anything on your property that was carbon based, that was once living, can live again through compost pile, through mulching. I'm not going to get into that too much, but it's that principle of trying to use things as many times throughout your landscape, throughout your property, before it goes away. The ideal scenario is that you just have this closed loop system where you're just keeping things cycling through over and over again. Now that I've shown you this, we're going to go to another section and show you another way or method that you could harvest rainwater off of your roof as well. Okay, so we're here next to our barn. We have this concrete pig enclosure that we really only use for receiving the pigs, or if we're staging some that we're selling to other farmers or homesteaders in the area, or if we're having one of our pregnant sows give birth. But we planted these raspberries along here, along with a small pin cherry on the end, and we water all of these exclusively with the rainfall from this roof line here. We have no irrigation here. We don't have to add any extra water. We have this downspout here, and you can see it goes underground, and that's attached to a French drain tile, just one of those plastic kind of drain pipes that goes underneath that root zone, and so it passively irrigates them below grade so that we have little to no evaporation. We have mulch on top as well, and we've been really pleased with the results. We have these 1-year-old cane fruit that have been producing and have grown really well in this setup. And you could do the same thing similarly. Some people will attach a rain barrel there. You can certainly do that. Once again, we would recommend if you have any overflow in a rain event, which typically in a decent rainfall, those small rain barrels fill up very quickly, but having an overflow set up to where you can push that into your landscape and away from your house to water any trees or shrubs is going to make that water go so much further than just simply letting it sheet off, go into a storm drain, or just off of your property and away. Again, that source to sink. One thing to think about when thinking of the value of rainwater harvesting and how much water you can actually harvest. A very kind of quick and general estimate is for every 1,000 square feet of roof area, you harvest about 620 gallons of water in a 1-inch rainfall event. Now, depending on how many inches of rainfall or precipitation you get in your location every year, that can be substantial. So 1-inch rainfall, 1,000 square foot roof, 620 gallons of water approximately. There's some other factors involved there, but that's a good general rule. And you think about that volume of water, how many 55-gallon drums you're filling in one event like that, you start to realize that using that resource that's right there coming onto your property as many times as you can create a landscape of abundance and productivity and make our water resources go so much further. Well, if you have any questions about this, please put them in the comment section below. And as always, thanks for watching. I would have been okay if you just would have walked by normal.
I was thinking about sprinting behind you.
Like just coming like, yeah! That would have been awesome.